Hey everyone, it's Mystery Girl and I'm Missy. Tonight I'm taking you with me to Sweet Hollow Road, one of the scariest places on Long Island, maybe in America. So come with me if you dare. Sweet Hollow Road is located in Huntington, New York on Long Island. It's one of the scariest roads on Long Island, some say in the world. It's definitely in the top 5. There are numerous urban legends here, and we're going to get into each and every one of them. Just like in my Mary's grave video, go back to my playlist and check that video out. This is where the other Mary is. I told you there was another Mary, and this is where she is. Well, maybe more than one. But this road here is the scariest road I've ever heard of. So scary, I would never go there. Surrounded by woods, which we'll get into the woods, and it's coming up on this bridge right here, this underpass, which is the scariest underpass on Long Island. People go down here just to check this place out and to make sure and see if these urban legends are true. And they say they experience everything they've heard about. So there's no guessing why I never went down here. I love a good mystery, but I don't want to not come home. And this is definitely one of those places that makes you feel that way. The long winding roads. If you wanted to get out of there, again, just like Mary's grave, you can't. There are so many different urban legends that we're going to get into about Sweet Hollow, just this one area, that if you're into paranormal, this is one place that you have to come. Grab your equipment, come down to Sweet Hollow Road, Huntington, New York. I told you in my video on Mary's grave in Head of the Harbor that there was another Mary on Long Island and another Mary's grave, which people always got the two confused. The Mary that we're going to get into in a couple of seconds is the Mary that everyone thinks is the one in Head of the Harbor, but they always get them wrong. Just like the Mary in Head of the Harbor, there's two different legends to this Mary concerning this schoolhouse right here. The schoolhouse was built in the 18th century. This is the first legend. Mary's father was a school teacher at the West Hills Schoolhouse on Sweet Hollow Road. Mary lived with her dad in a home close to the school. One day her father decided to lock all the children inside the schoolhouse and burn them alive. He was fed up with the behavior of the children. Upon hearing this, Mary locked herself in her room and hung herself from shame. Then, of course, there's a twist to that legend. Some say that Mary is actually the one that started the fire because she was tired of being picked on. The second version of this legend has Mary's father killing the children with an axe or a hatchet. The twist to this legend has Mary handling the axe duties. And it's that part of the legend that makes this Mary one of the Marys considered to be Mary Hatchet. The schoolhouse was built in the 18th century, and from the history archives of the famous poet Walt Whitman, who was born in 1819 in West Hills, Huntington, New York. There is a documented story that states, according to the granddaughter of Noel Call, the schoolhouse was partially burned in the 1880s, and she ended up walking to the Melville School after the fire and damage to the school. The schoolhouse was repaired and was active and useful as a school until 1912. The school was located at the corner of Mount Misery and Sweet Hollow Road. This is one of the Marys said to be dressed in white. Now let's get into Mary number 2 of Sweet Hollow and Mount Misery Road. A once nurse in a mental hospital that later in life had what we now know as dementia became a patient in the 1700s. It is said that she started the fire in the hospital from her room. There is talk of screams from her when she was a patient. It is said that you can hear not only her screams, but you can hear the screams of the other patients when the fire happened to this day. This Mary is another Mary, also known as Mary Hatchet. There are so many of the Marys labeled Mary Hatchet, it's hard to determine which really is Hatchet Mary or Mary Hatchet. So we've gotten into 2 of the Marys. Now let's get into number 3, who is the Lady in White, said to be one of 3 legends. It's said that she walks the streets of Sweet Hollow Road. This is the same Mary that people also mix up with Head of the Harbor. It's said that she had been pushed out of a moving car by her boyfriend that was raged from rumors that she had been cheating on him. A passing car ran her over and she was killed. Some say she jumped out of the car. Her grave is also said to be in the Melville Cemetery. It's said if you point a flashlight on her grave, she will appear. They also say if you say her name 3 times by her grave, she will make her presence known. Some say they have seen her in the woods across from the graveyard. Some say they always see her in the woods across from the graveyard. Legend says that she will jump in front of your car. Legend also says if you see her, you will be struck dead by morning. And like I said, she's said to be the Lady in White. Another legend claims the Lady in White was a lady walking home and was tortured and killed on the roadside. And now she wanders the roads to protect other women from the same fate. And yes, there is another possible Lady in White. It is a woman named Sally. Yes, a different name, finally. Not another Mary. She ran her car off Mount Misery Road, hitting a tree, killing her instantly. It said you can see her walk across the street into the woods. I think we saw that a little while ago. Many tragic accidents happen in this area, which is why it's said to be so haunted. Some say they see a stalled or a crashed car, and when they turn around to help, the car is gone. Some say that this area is also known for UFO sightings in the West Hills Park area. So now we've covered at least 3 Marys and 2 women in white at least. And guess what? I'm not done yet. There's the cemetery, the Melville Cemetery, established in 1812. It's located off Sweet Hollow Road. The gate is located on this entrance, which is where Mary is buried. Both Marys are buried. It's claimed to be haunted. You can see ghostly figures, you can see the women in white, and you can even see death. There is an older part of the cemetery, which is where Mary's headstone is. You can barely read the name Mary anymore. It's said that Mary wanders this cemetery. Now let's get to the Underpass. Many ghosts are said to haunt the Underpass of Northern State Parkway on Sweet Hollow Road. A woman was killed in an accident, a head-on collision in the 1970s, and it's said she now protects other drivers from the same fate. It's said if you park under the overpass and underpass and put your car in neutral, she will push your car up to safety. Some have gone down and put baby powder on the trunk and the bumper of their car when going to the underpass. Put the car in neutral and their car rolls through the underpass. And they claim that when they got to the other side, there was handprints in the powder.
I'm gonna die. The car has disappeared.
That was actual footage of someone going through the underpass and their reaction to their car being pushed. I think you know why now. I have never, ever been here. I'm not even close to done yet. There was a pact from a couple of boys to commit the S word. 3 boys allegedly hung themselves from the overpass on Sweet Hollow Road, taking their own lives. If you look up at the overpass while driving underneath it, you can catch a glimpse of their bodies. And yes, there's more. There's the day camp that existed in the 1930s. Supposedly it existed along Sweet Hollow Road during the 1930s. Some of the children were said to have been abused, SA, or even killed. And their spirits can occasionally be seen walking along the road wearing 1930s clothing. Then they quickly vanish. And yes, there's more. A bus driver lost control of a bus full of children while driving on Northern State Parkway across the overpass and going off the overpass, crashing down the street onto Sweet Hollow Road, killing everyone on a snowy day. Legend has it, at night, a group of faceless children walk the dark road, having been seen. Also, reports of a bus right by the graveyard can be seen at night. Then there is also the legend that if you go to the underpass, put your car in neutral, just as the other one, the children will push your car up the hill to move you out of harm's way. Again, many that go there put baby powder on their trunks and bumpers to see if their car has handprints. And when they get to the other side of the overpass, it does. It said if you honk your horn 3 times and drive through the overpass, it brings you out the other side, being pushed by ghosts. This next one does have some truth behind it. A child was hit by a car near the underpass, and you can see him at times sitting in the road. This may have some tie to the story where it is said a Suffolk County homicide detective told the press an mutilated body of a child was discovered on Sweet Hollow Road in 1976. And this one is the last one for now. This one is about a cop that was shot in the back of the head. Legend has it that when he pulls you over, that the back of his head is blown off, that to this day you can still get pulled over by him. Legend says the police officer was shot and killed on Sweet Hollow Road many years ago. And if you're driving on Sweet Hollow Road, you can get pulled over by the ghost of the deadly cop. He comes over to your car, questions you, and then when he lets you go and turns away, the back of his head is blown off. Before we finish up, there is one more legend. Some have claimed to see the Mothman here, as well as a red-eyed creature that flies through the woods. This is a new one to me. I want to let you know also, they did make a movie about Mount Misery Road. I haven't seen it yet. It's called Amityville Mount Misery Road. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. It's on Tubi as well as on YouTube. As for Amityville, well, you can't believe everything you hear. Make sure you hit that notification bell because I will be doing a video on Amityville. You won't want to miss that one. As you can see, there's many reasons why I've never been down to Mount Misery and Sweet Hollow Road. I lived on Long Island almost my whole life, but this underpass right here is a tunnel to terror. If you believe in supernatural, this is a place that you might be interested in going. I doubt that you will end up with no footage. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and notification bell. And remember, every day is a mystery.